So I made it to the first break. It's beautiful out. It's nice and warm, but they keep tournament room is freezing. So I have my sweatshirt on it, even though it's almost 70 degrees out and sunny. So first break, I have we started with 40K. I have maybe a little bit over 50. Yeah, I'm just trying to play well. A couple of times I kind of, when I bet, they go away for the most part, except a couple of times. The last hand, he had flop was 2-4-10, had 9-10 suited, and the turn was a 9. The flop was checked. So when I bet, he called, and the river was another 9. He gave me both, but Mr. had a 9 because I put in a good bet and he called. Other than that, I'm not getting too many calls when I'm in. I folded one hand, ace jack, small blind. But there was a bet and then a 3-bet. I don't want to get involved out of position. Flop was 9 jack queen. Those big bets. I don't know if I would have stuck around, but the turn and river were 2 aces. I think at that point the only thing that beats me is ace queen, but I was I was gone before the flop. So let's go.
John.
This was a really key hand to me in this tournament. I had raised the pocket sixes at 2 block sixes. Everybody had folded, and the small blind had called me. And the small blind is, I had the most chips at the table. 120, 130 days more than that range. I had just one hand earlier pocket aces. I had raised, and then a wild multiplier raises me 3 bets. I 4-bet him. He goes all in. 5-bet all in. He turns over ace king, and my ace is okay. So it's this other guy, this small blind, debates for a while. And,
I gave it 10.
because he calls me, and then big blind, which was a smaller stack, goes all in. I put in the call. There wasn't chips. And the small blind guy, the other guy, was very solid player with a lot of chips. He debates and then just puts in a call. And then on the flop is 6, 8, 10, all diamonds. And even though I hit the set, I check it. And then, because small blind unchecked. So normally, and he bets the turn. The turn was 6 of hearts. I have quads. He bets the turn. I just call. I don't, raise him. And the river was the king of clubs. And he puts out, this time he put out a red chip, which was like a 25 k.
All in.
It's almost pot size. Yeah, so I throw all my chips in. This guy here just goes. And eventually, he's gonna put in the call eventually. And he had flopped. He had ace king of diamonds. If he had raised me pre-flop, big, I was kind of away. But it would have to have been like a big bet. If he bet the flop, I probably would have stayed around. But we both had very underrepresented hands, and that's why it's important sometimes to. At first, early on, I was wondering if I was betting too much, getting betting outside the bets, and turns and rivers. And a lot of times they fold, which is fine. But sometimes they do have real hands. So this time he did have. He had flopped ace king of diamonds, 3 diamond flop. So he had it on the flop, and the turn with the board paired had, and he put out a bet. I didn't 3-bet him, so I just called him. So he's probably thinking, I don't know what he's thinking. He had ace king of diamonds. So eventually he puts out a call.
I got it.
Yeah, I could have had a vote.
Body to your body. Oh my God.
And I don't think
I got it. Thanks.
Said,
Sick, right? We both checked the flop too. Wow.
So it was fun. It was a fun game.
You head down the escalator, get out loiter in the area.
30,900.
This break will start when the last person's out of this room. You are welcome to watch the race off and to be the banker, but if you are finished with a hand and you're not the banker, we ask you to exit the area.
Nice time.
Second break, pretty healthy. Almost a 200K stack, even though I gave away 30K in the last hand. I called an all-in from a smaller stack. He had about 30K, had pocket fives, and he turned over kings. I had one massive hand before that. Almost three-way all. Ended up being three-way all-in against the other big stack on the table. He had flopped nut flush. Straight flush would beat him, but 6, 8, 10 of diamonds was the flop. He had ace king of diamonds. I had pocket sixes. We both checked the flop. The turn is another six, give me the quads, and I was happy to see him lead out on the turn. I just called, and on the river, like a black king hit, and he put in a big, red chip, 25K chip, and I just went all in. He debated for a while, and eventually called. So it's been good. At first, I was unhappy because they changed my seat. I drew the ace of spades as they're expanding the tables. I'd learned that guys on my table. So at first I wasn't happy, but it's been a good run. I'd won a big hand earlier with aces against ace king 5-bet. I let out under the gun. From the button, he 3-bet me. I 4-bet him, and he just shoved. And I was glad to see that hold up.
You're on two flush draws. I think you're here in the back.
Top it up. Run. Keep it running. Ah, yeah.
Yeah, we both pulled the better.
Right now. I have my pair's under, but
Look at that. You're gonna get there? Boom. Up with an 8.
8.
Some more outs. 8 or a quit.
Nice time.
So third break, still in good shape. Probably have 300K. Nothing unusual. I had a couple of hands with ace king. We end up going all in against two different guys. They both had ace king, so a couple of chops. I lost. I called an all in for about 25K, which is a little bit less than 10 big blinds. 9, 10 of clubs. I lost that. He had king 10, and even though two clubs flopped and I had a straight draw on the turn, I didn't hit any of them, but he was ahead, so yeah, let's go.
All right, roll him.
Slippy. He called it.
Anything there?
Yeah, he's got queen.
This makes it work.
I know, now I got what I want. You know what, guys?
Translation should do 15.
That's not cool. What is it, $10?
Yeah, for $10. Ace king.
It's very exciting. The Borgata Poker Open Spring is here. I played the first day one of the Deepstack. I ran pretty good. Nothing really bad happened except for one hand very late. I was the chip leader of the level of the second break. I was close to the top after the first break, close to the top after the third break. And then again, after the fourth break, which is after level 16, I had over 1 million in chips and really in a good position. And but I finished the night, 12.5% were in the money. And then we played until 8% were down. There's a bunch of day ones. But I ran into one hand. It was, nothing I could have done. I raised with pocket tens on the button. And the big blind looks at me, and he goes all in for a lot of chips, like almost 400K in chips. He probably thought I was doing just raising the button light, but I had pocket tens, had a legit hand. I put him on exactly the top end. He was actually weaker than I thought he was. At best, I figured he may be like a king 9, king jack type of hand, or just. But he was ace blank. He had ace 5 off. The flop was good, but he unfortunately turned an ace, and I didn't get the 10 on the river to kind of like make the comeback. But he took a lot of chips from me. I would have been in a really dominant position. I still finished. Really near the top, but one other interesting hand I'll recap. There was a really tight player. I mean, he literally had cobwebs crawling around his chips, and he had a good amount of chips. Nothing amazing, but good enough amount of chips. So he raised under the gun +1. I was going right after him. I'm looking at pocket aces, so I'm like, if I re-raise this guy, he's going to go away. And I don't mind if somebody else comes in. And there's a lot of smaller stacks at this point because this is, I think, probably level 17, 18, somewhere in that range. Approaching the bubble, not quite there yet. So I just call behind him. But unfortunately, everybody folds. I'd rather put it in, pre-flop. But flop comes out. It was just me and him going at it because I had moved to that table, so I'm assuming everybody else was familiar with how tight this guy was. Flop was a rainbow king 4 deuce, somewhere in that range, and he leads out a bet. So I look at him. I'm like, all right. I just put them all in. I threw in a bunch of chips. He goes like, I call. And he turns over ace king suited, king high. He thinks he's good. And he goes, wow, when I turn over the aces. And he didn't, so I was able to take a good amount of chips. I pretty much, I think I won most of my flips. So it's the opposite of, these things come and go. Sometimes you win flips, sometimes you don't. But for the most part, I won my flips. I busted out queens with ace king. It doesn't make a difference most of the time. Any pair, whether it's as high as queens, as low as deuces. Unless I had a king or an ace, the deuces are good. The pair is good. So it's the same thing. So the fact that it was queens, I guess, takes away the board having, 2 pairs on it and the ace high kind of winning, where another smaller pair gets counterfeited. But so it's fun. So day 2 is on Sunday. I'm going back. I should be in decent shape, but there's a bunch of people. I finished the day with 750K, somewhere in that range, maybe a little bit over. That should be good enough to put me near the top, but not, I'm not going to be in the top 10 or so, because there's a few people that are going to have 800,000 or more. I'm sure there's going to be like 5 or 6 people with over 1 million. And if it wasn't for that one hand on bad run out, I would have been actually closer to 2 million. I would have had like 1.6 or so. It was a big pot. So let's go.